Hello and welcome to the Seahawkers podcast, Week 8 picks. Adam, it's going to be the perfect week this week. I have a feeling.
Well, I was actually going to suggest at the beginning of this that you're going to go 100% this week, and I may go 0%, just because I feel bad about how badly it went for you last week.
If you do go 0% and I go 100%, then I'll at least catch up, and maybe it makes for a more competitive season of picking against one another.
That's exactly right. So, just doing that. I want to give you a chance. I want you to feel good about your picks going forward here. Make it fun.
Need your pity picks.
Yeah, they are. They're pity picks, man, and you don't get to choose whether or not you get to take it.
How are we going to go 0%? If we both picked the Vikings here on Thursday night. And as of right now, I guess maybe if they tie, as it is 14-14 almost to halftime, maybe that's how it ends up happening.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Well, and to be fair, I made my Thursday night pick before I decided to, have pity picks for you. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know.
All right. Well, we will see how it goes. There you are with the Vikings. Already posted up there. And let's kick things off with the Sunday morning games. No London game this week. We're kicking things off with Ravens at the Browns. New quarterback for the Browns this week.
Yeah, and Deshaun out forever. It sounds like for the Browns. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I know a lot of the players were upset that their fans were happy that Deshaun Watson got hurt, and
yeah,
I think they need to stop crying about it. I do. But with that said, they're going to be doing a lot of crying anyways, because this Ravens offense is just unstoppable right now. I love their style of ball. Derrick Henry looks like he's 25. Lamar's chucking it all around the field, looking like he's going for a third MVP. Everybody's going Ravens here, right?
All the experts going Ravens. 8-0, and how much of that? The Ravens favored by 8.5 points in this game, and somehow that doesn't seem like enough.
It doesn't seem like enough, but to Marlon's point here, I mean, is it Winston or is it DTR? Where are they going here?
Well, I think it's supposed to be Winston, but okay. I guess we'll see. Yeah, it was kind of weird how they had it set up, because they had Winston, who was and DTR might be hurt because he came out. He was the one who was the backup quarterback in that game. DTR came in, and Winston was the emergency quarterback. What is the health situation with DTR?
I don't know, but
I don't know. He got injured, but I don't see him on the injury report.
Okay, well, Marlon's thinking it's Winston, and even if it is, I mean, I don't think he's eating any dubs after this game.
No, probably not. But it could at least make them competitive enough to stay within that 8.5. We'll have to see. Titans at Lions. Lions at home, 99% going with the Lions. Once again, Will Levis's mom not giving up on these Titans.
Hey, good for her. Good for her. And look, I imagine that Montgomery and Gibbs will run for 500 yards against Jerome Baker again. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, Jerome Baker now going to be anchoring the middle of that Titans defense. How exciting. How good were they at allowing 7th in rushing yards? Defense allowed. Yeah. That's not bad.
No, Titans D has been good. It's just that the offense has been so poor and the team just kind of in disarray. Obviously, they see themselves as sellers right now, trading the linebacker over our way. So, yeah, interesting.
And who do we got? We got everybody going Lions. I assume you're going Lions.
Yeah.
So far, with the rest of the group here, everybody seems to have this figured out this week. This is why I suggest that maybe it's a perfect week. So far, you have picked all the same picks as me, and I'm going to need you to start tanking right about now. Colts
okay.
At Texans.
Yeah, well, then we'll just take AR here. No, definitely not. Can't do it. I'm sorry. The guy can't complete 50% of his balls. Like, I understand they're trying to work for the future and all that, and defense has just been poor. And Texans have seemed to get it together here. Mixon coming back has really helped. They're just, they're clearly the class of that division.
They are. It makes it easy to pick them. 5-2. Yeah, they're gonna continue to hang around and take out the Colts. I'm with you. I don't see Richardson. It's just gonna take some time with him if he can stay healthy and continue to improve before I'm gonna start picking the Colts. But I'm a little surprised to see they're 4-3 to this point.
Yeah, somehow
I had to
managed
do with
the winning record here. Yeah, a little bit of Flacco. I just don't understand how this franchise thinks it can wait for AR to become good. It's going to take 4 or 5 years of him being in the league before he can start to figure out. Like, that's how far he had to go as a passer to get it figured out. You're going to go through another coach by then. I don't know, man.
I see Marlon in the chat mentioning that the mailman's out for the Titans, but even with their backup in, I don't think that can help.
Yeah, with the bricklayer Mason. I don't know that helps them at all.
Not another one that appears to be close in terms of the matchup. Packers at Jaguars. Jaguars only down 4 points in terms of the spread. Packers favored by 4 is probably the more accurate way to say it. And wow, look at that. Senior writer Will Brinson continuing to try and tank and picking the Jaguars, the only one of the CBS writers that is going Jags.
Yeah, with the first pick in the CBS writers draft next year, Will Brinson will really enjoy having that draft position. Look, this is one where I think the point spread and everything is going to be a little tighter than people think. The Jags have been playing a little bit better as of late. The Packers can be up and down and a little streaky, but overall they're a much better team. A lot of names on those injury reports, so holy smokes.
Yeah, look at all those questionable people.
Oh,
and then Jaguars got a lot of dudes on IR, but
yeah,
not anybody of huge significance in terms of IR for them. But yeah, a lot of injuries.
Is there anybody of huge significance on their entire team?
For the Jaguars?
Yeah.
Is that why you're picking them this week?
No. This is another stinker game going with the Packers.
All right, shoot. Still, we are see, this is why this is going to be the week that we get 100% together. All right, 911 coming in with a $9.99 super chat. Our live executive producer, Go Hawks, excited about your perfect week last week.
Yeah, it was perfect for me because I ended up picking up a few picks here on Brandon. Not quite fully perfect, but Ryan, with your support, I think maybe we could get there this week, especially with some of these games that are just stinkers. Like, these are ones that it just feels like such a obvious mismatch.
Yeah, there are a few though that could be interesting. This one, in terms of the public and how they feel about both these teams, nobody able to come to a solid conclusion on who should win between the Cardinals and the Dolphins. Right now, 54% are with the Cardinals versus the Dolphins at home.
Man, that's it's honestly a tough one to pick. Wait, how many games has it been since Cardinals have had a good one? Is it on 3? Oh, and is Tua actually back?
He was practicing this week. I don't know if that necessarily means that he's going to be back.
Boy.
Marlon saying Tua is back.
Okay. Well, we'll see on that one. Holy smokes. I thought we were injured compared to some of these other teams. Good Lord.
24 Dolphins injuries.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, I'm going to go Cards here. I think they've been more the consistent, better of the bad teams than with the Dolphins. Even if it is Tua back, he's going to be rusty. And he's got to start, I don't know, you'd think he'd start to be a little scared just being out there as a whole for his future, but we'll see.
Storm Duck is injured for the Dolphins. That's not good.
Oh, it's over. Cardinals for sure.
Yeah, that's what has me picking the Cardinals, I think. I don't like doing it, especially because I actually want the Dolphins to win, but I'm also going Cardinals. So I'm a little bit surprised with how there is like a little bit of love festiness with the Cardinals. Maybe that's worn off by now, but overwhelming support for the Dolphins, 4.5 points. I think part of it is just the defense has been relatively bad, and I think the Cardinals are going to be able to run on this Dolphins defense.
Yeah, and I like the Cards defense a little bit better than some. Look, they're not great, but they're feisty, they're competitive. Yeah, I'm going Cards, I think, here still, and hopefully it's since we both picked it, then they'll definitely lose. That'd be fun.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, what are we? A reverse jinx on the Cardinals.
Yes. Yeah, going for the reverse jinx.
There we go. Jets at Patriots. There we go. Back to the part of the show where 93% picking the Jets, 7% on the Patriots. Jets favored by 7. Do they finally work their way back toward 500?
Boy, I think this is my risk pick because you got to take one, right? And it's easy to bet against the Jets with the level of dysfunction that is surrounding that team. It doesn't feel like there's anybody in charge. I don't even think that inmates are running the asylum right now. It just feels like the train is completely off the tracks. There's no cohesiveness. It's a disaster, man. And I understand that it's going to be the second game back for Devontae, and I imagine that connection is going to look a little bit better than it did in his first game there with Aaron. And then, and Aaron's even questionable. That's interesting. And is Reddick I heard he was back in the building. Is he actually gonna play, or is he still kind of working himself back into football shape?
I have not heard.
Interesting.
But
yeah, I'm going Patriots here. I think
I'm going Jets. Yeah. You can take the Patriots.
It's just fun to root against Aaron.
Pick.
Yeah.
I could see the Patriots just with the level of dysfunction the Jets have. Now, who are they going to fire then if the Jets lose to the Patriots?
Oh, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers will find somebody. Yeah, he'll find somebody. It won't be his fault. We all know that.
No, but yeah, Carly saying Pats isn't a bad risk pick. It's definitely a risk pick. And I think we're actually running out of room here for risk picks, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Falcons at Buccaneers. This is the next coin flip game up on the schedule. It doesn't feel so coin flippy in terms of how I feel about this game, but the Bucs do have some injuries to wide receivers. Falcons actually favored by 2.5. Maybe. How are people back in love with the Falcons after seeing them get beat by the Seahawks? Do they just feel like it's a fluke? Because I feel like the Bucs are a legit good team.
I think they were a legit good team, and then they had a no good bad Monday night where you see Mike Evans really screw up his hamstring. It looks like there's no way he's going to be back for this week. Chris Godwin with the bad leg injury late after the announcers jinxed him. That was tough to see. And yeah, they got ran off the field by the Ravens. Now, is the Falcons anywhere nearly as good as the Ravens? Absolutely not. But I think on a little bit shorter week without your two studs at wide receiver, I think that makes it a lot harder on somebody like Baker, who I think relies on his weapons a little bit more than vice versa. And so, yeah, I'm going to go to the Falcons here for a bounce back win. They did beat the Bucs last time they played, and Cousins went for 500 yards.
Yeah, I suppose that is that plays into it. The fact that they did beat them once already. I just think that they can go back to the run game. They can, they have enough guys for Baker to deal it out to. I think the Falcons start to go on a slide here, and the Bucs get the win.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings if that's the way that went. But yeah, this battle for first place in the division too. This is huge.
Yeah, Marlon saying it's not the Falcons being good; it's who's catching the ball for the Bucs. The Bucs have a run game, though. I think they can run it on this Falcons D. And
I do like
Baker doesn't have anybody to worry about rushing him, then the dudes that they still have left catching the ball can find a way to get open.
That's a solid point. Of all the picks I've made so far, including the Patriots pick, this is the one I feel the least certain about.
Eagles at Bengals. 54% going with the Eagles on the road in Cincinnati against a Bengals team that's actually favored by 2.5 points. They're the home team. They have not won yet at home against the spread, according to CBS Sports here. Is this going to be the time they get their win at home, Adam?
Oh,
They haven't even
absolutely.
won at
The
home.
point spread's wrong here. Yeah, it's been rough. I get that, but the Eagles, again, another just franchise in disarray, only seem to look decent against bad teams. Saquon never played for the Bengals. I'm sure he's not upset at the Bengals the way that he was against the Giants last week, where he went off. I like the Bengals here quite a bit, actually. I think this is the beginning of the end for the Philadelphia Eagles this season.
All right. I am also going with the Bengals. Yeah, I just think that when we've seen some of these AFC matchups against NFC teams, AFC has tended to look better. And yeah, I don't see the Eagles, despite their 4-2 record. I don't think that they're an actual good team.
Yeah.
And part of that has to do with coaching.
Oh, all of it has to do with coaching for the most part. Yeah.
Saints at Chargers. 93% going with the hometown Chargers, favored by 7 points. I guess this has to do with Spencer Rattler still being their quarterback.
Is he still the starter, or is Carr back this week?
He's questionable, it says, with an oblique. Questionable means that he could play, but maybe it's just because that defense of the Saints is so bad.
Yeah, and how are they on the ground? 29th in rushing yards with a Chargers offense that does have a penchant for pounding the rock.
J.K. Dobbins has been pretty good this year, yeah.
Yeah. I think this is another one where I agree with the masses, which is starting to feel weird. So I'm going Chargers at home. Or fake home.
Fake home, but they will be. Saints fans, are Saints fans going to travel to LA with their 2-5 record? I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe they just want to get out of the South for a minute and head out to the coast.
Maybe. Marlon saying in the chat, did you see who the curse wheel selected this week? We did see it, Marlon. Our Seahawks, it's a lock. Why is this so low at 18%? Do people not watch That's Good Sports and the power rankings? Do they not know that the curse wheel has selected the Bills this week?
Yeah, I tried to do a reverse proclamation to get Mike the win this week. I guess it's not a reverse proclamation, just a preemptive one. And then, Brandon, you texted me and let me know that the curse wheel had come down upon the Bills' head. And I felt great about it. Like, it's all working together. When Perna and I are working together in, kind of NFL voodoo land, I think that things really happen. So, yeah, it's a deadlock that we beat the Bills.
All of our Hawkra is aligning, which it makes me happy that this is still within risk pick territory. Seahawks are my risk pick this week.
That's gross. I don't like that. I don't think
I got one in. Got one in against you. All right.
It's a cheapie.
I'll take it. Bears at Commanders. 36% going with the Bears. They're 4-2, 5-2. Commanders pick number 1 against pick number 2. And the Bears are actually favored by 3 points by the odds makers.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Did something happen
on the road?
Did something happen? Because the opening line was Bears plus 1.5, and it shifted just 4.5 points.
Is Jaden still out this week?
Yeah, that could be a big part of it. Out Jonathan Allen. Jaden Daniels, questionable ribs.
Okay.
I'm not cheating, Carly, with my risk pick. You're cheating.
Yeah. No, it is cheating. And I'm glad Car's here to have my back on that one. Yeah. It's a weak sauce risk pick. It's not in the rule book. It's just deep in your gut. It feels like cheating. And that's how you know.
I think even if Jaden Daniels is on the field or not, I felt like with Mariota, like he was able to still move this offense relatively well. I think that quarterback doesn't matter much to me. I think I'm going Commanders either way.
I feel like you get Mariota up against a pretty darn good defense with the Bears here, and I think it unravels a bit more.
Hmm.
And although, the Washington defense playing better than it did at the beginning of the year, kind of up in all those rankings and looking pretty good. Wags has kind of found the fountain of youth again, and congratulations to him. So, yeah, I think I like the Bears in this one.
You like the Bears. I like the Commanders. I just it could be a fun game. I would hope that Jaden
Yes.
plays just because it's going to be more fun having the 1 versus 2. What if you knew for sure that Jaden were playing? Would that change your mind at all?
Yes, I'd be taking Commanders all the way.
Gotcha. All right. Panthers at Broncos. Will this be another week where we both pick the Broncos and then the Broncos lose?
I don't know. Didn't we pick them last week and didn't they win?
Yeah, they did. Maybe it's every
Okay.
other week that only factors in.
Yeah. And look, if you want to be, a man of integrity here, you can nut up and pick the Panthers like Carly's suggesting here. Like, come on.
As a real risk pick?
That's a real risk pick.
What if I wanted What if I wanted my real risk pick to be the Raiders or the Giants?
Well, I mean, they could be. That's true. I would accept that as being a real risk pick rather than your fake one from earlier.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I'll take the Panthers.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely taking the Broncos here. I'm surprised they haven't demoted the Panthers to like Division 2 or something, right? Like, isn't this like soccer? Can't you get like relegated or something?
Yeah. So wait, now if I'm picking the Broncos to win here in the expectation that they'll lose because we both picked them together, then how does this work for my risk pick?
Hard telling, not knowing. But look, if you don't want to go Panthers here after finding out that Marlon, with the information here that Bryce Young, the JV quarterback, is going to be playing, you can't take it. Nobody can take it. I don't.
Yep. I'm definitely taking Panthers now. Bryce Young's back. He's going to get a rando win against the Broncos, and Broncos fans are going to be in shambles.
I mean, that would still be fun too. So I'm rooting for both of us this game. That's going to be a good time.
Chiefs 6-0 going up against the 2-5 Raiders. Now, see, taking the Raiders as a risk pick, that would be crazy. The Chiefs favored by 9.5 points. They're on a roll. They've made a trade for DeAndre Hopkins this week, and everybody's going Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hopkins does help slightly. He's obviously not the player that he once was. I mean, Mahomes makes everybody look good. There's no doubt about that. But this is one of those weird divisional matchups that is often close for like no reason. And I think that it's going to be like Chiefs 2017. It's going to be one of those ugly games. They're both going to try to run it quite a bit here. Yeah.
Carly saying I'd pick the Raiders before the Panthers. Carly, you were the one that just talked me into taking the Panthers. Why are you doing this to me?
Just to rub your nose in it, man. Yeah. Just because you tried to make your Seahawks a risk pick when we know it's not a risk pick, when the curse wheel picked the Bills. Like,
yeah, I know it's not a risk pick, but it's in risk pick territory as per our 20% rule within Pick'em. And yeah, real funny, Carly. Real funny that you talked me into it now.
I think it is hilarious. You're a funny lady. I love it. Chiefs here.
All right. Sunday night football, Cowboys at Niners. I know who I want to win this game just in terms of the standings. I hope a meteor hits Levi Stadium this week.
Yeah, I can understand why you'd be going that way. This is one where I look at it and you could sell me any which way on this game. I have no earthly clue. I mean, the Cowboys are still out so many of their star defensive players. Niners obviously banged up. I don't know if Debo ever got unsick. Yeah, I don't know, man. Cowboys?
Adam's taking the. You're riding with the one expert among the CBS writers who appears to be on the top with 69 picks correct. Is it Ryan Wilson that's leading everybody?
He is. He's
Look at
kicking
that.
ass at 69. Yeah.
Kicking ass and trying to get another one up against his coworkers here. So you're gonna make you're gonna make me take the Niners.
I don't make you do anything. This is just like running the ball early in the game. Like, you don't have to do anything. You can make your own choices.
I feel like I have to now that you've done this to me.
Oh, okay. Well, you're welcome. And sorry, not sorry.
All right.
God, look at all these awesome picks you're having to click on again. I had cards.
It looks like something went wrong. You had Falcons.
There we go. Yep. Packers, Texans, Lions.
Every week this happens. Come on, CBS. Let us get through one round of picks without having me to pick them all over again. We should just make it part of the show as part of the recap. I go down the list and you make your picks all over again for the next time.
Yeah, that works. People definitely haven't had enough of this.
Monday Night Football. Giants at Steelers, 3%. Going with the Giants. Steelers on a roll. They got Russ back. They're favored by 6. And it seemed like Russ had a pretty decent game. Everybody at CBS is going Steelers. Thank goodness I didn't have to save this one for my risk pick.
Yeah, no doubt. What did you feel about Russ's performance in his first game back with the Steelers? Like, after watching that, how would you judge it?
I mean, it's okay. We got to see some vintage Russ deep shots, but I think there was a little bit of rust there too. And if you can knock that off and rely a little bit more on, I was looking at Najee Harris, who is, I think, second in the league at breaking tackles this year. I think that the idea of him having a bit of a run game to lean on, I think that's going to help out the Steelers. I like Tomlin. Yeah, it's I'm feeling that the Steelers, they could do some good things this year. It's going to be interesting though to see if Russ can fully knock off all the rust and keep it going here with the Steelers. How about you?
Yeah, I think for one, this is the perfect situation for Russ. This is set up much like the early LOB teams with Pete and Tomlin playing the same style of ball. You know, good defense, run the rock well. You've got a talented receiver, a decent tight end, and then you can kind of fill in around there. With Russ throughout that game, you know, there was a couple throws that were just bad. There was a couple throws that were really good. And then some of the deep shots, in fact, a lot of them, Brandon, were all underthrown, and the receiver had to come back and readjust to the football. And I'm curious to see.
Bail him out a couple times, didn't he?
Yeah, pretty much anybody that he threw it deep down the field to had to come back to the football. So I'm wondering if we're going to see this week Russ put a little bit more air under it, you know, get it down the field a little further, or is his arm just cooked? That's what I'm wondering. So this is going to be a fun game to watch, because if there was a team to be able to, you know, look good look good against again, then this would be the one, I would think.
Yeah. How many points do you see this game being?
31.
Generally low scoring, but maybe a lot of that has to do with the Giants. Yeah. All right. Well, any Seahawks news from today that we didn't cover on the last show?
I don't think anything crazy new popped up.
No. I don't think so either.
No, I think the biggest news was the curse wheel, for reals.
That's right. Yeah. That was the main thing that happened. And watching the Rams not be terrible against the Vikings in the first half, we just need, as they close out this game, here we go. Big run nice screen pass by the Vikings. There we go. Now they can drive down, get the score coming out of the half, and the Vikings can go on and close this game out against the stupid Rams.
Yeah, get it done, guys. Keep the Rams pinned down so that we see them next week, right? After Bills. And we can put the final nail in the coffin for their season. They trade Cooper Kupp.
There we go.
It's going to be great.
That's what we need. Yep, they can trade Cup. And for anybody watching, we've got a few folks in here. If you want to stick around, coming up at the bottom of the hour, we're going to be doing our Seahawkers What If as we look ahead to this game against the Bills. Phil's going to come in and give us some questions, and I think Clinton's going to hop on too. So have a preview show live for you here coming up right here on YouTube.
Sweet. I'm glad you guys are hopping in to do that. That's going to be super entertaining. I definitely suggest everybody check it out. And it's going to be one of the easiest shows ever for What If, right? Because it's guaranteed. The curse wheel is guaranteed it.
Curse wheel's guaranteed. It's going to be an easy victory to predict. I hope that Clinton doesn't have that information yet, and maybe I can get over on him when it comes down to, because as bad as I'm doing in the picks, I think I do have him in What If. So yeah.
Okay.
Got to keep that going.
Well, I'm going to go with my West Coast bias here and root for you to continue that trend.
All right. Well, thank you, man.
Yeah.
And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.